What's up YouTube? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com. In today's Madden 22 tip video, I'm going to break down a new money play from the gun tight slots HB weak formation that is unstoppable. No defense can stop this play. So if you guys are tired of running all the same plays that everybody runs from bunch and whatever, this is a really nice formation to look at because it has some very effective money plays that are easy to use and impossible to defend. Now, you can find this formation in a decent amount of playbooks this year. Two of my favorites that have it are the Raiders and the Colts. Both of those playbooks are really good. I've actually been using the Colts a lot of this year. So those are two of the playbooks I would look at if you want to run this. So the play I'm going to break down is going to be the mesh spot. You don't need any abilities with this play. You can run it with any team. Like I said, no abilities are necessary. And I'm going to show you guys how you can beat every defense in the game with this play with one easy setup. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Drop me a like on the video, comment. All that stuff helps me out a lot. If we can get 250 likes on this video, I will drop another money play from this formation that you can use with this play I'm about to show you guys to create a nice little mini scheme. So first, we're going to look at how to beat cover 2. Cover 2 is a pretty effective defense this year. Depending upon the adjustments that the defense uses, it can be, somewhat hard to beat, although the deep halves are still not very good. Early in the year, I hated it, but as the year's gone on, it's gotten a little bit more effective with certain adjustments, in my opinion. So, the setup to this play, we're going to use the same setup actually for every defense we face. Is we're going to put first of all, the running back side of the formation should be on the short side of the field. So, since we're on the left hash, we're going to make sure our running back's lined up on the left so that he's on the short side. I'm going to put the inside left receiver Kirk, I'm going to put him on a slant route. I'm going to put my receiver on the left next to him, Hopkins on an out route, and I'm going to put my tight end on a flat. So like I said, no abilities needed for this play. So before I break down this setup, I do want to remind you guys, if you're looking to get better at Madden 22, make sure to check out sportsgamers.com. That's where I post all my premium Madden 22 tips, weekly tips, offensive and defensive ebooks and schemes, and we have guides available for both current and next gen. So no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. So when I run this play, my first read is always the flats. If I see that maybe they have their zone drops on or whatever the case may be to where their zones are dropping back deep, I will throw to the flat every single play, and I can look at the tight end as well as the quick out route. That's going to be my first read against every defense. Maybe they're blitzing me. Maybe they have zone drops on. Whatever the case may be, if they're giving up that free 6, 7, 8 yards, take it every time. Now, if that happens to be covered, most likely that means one of two things. Either, they are playing hard flats or they don't have zone drops on. So if that happens, then I'm looking to either my slant or my running back. Now, the slant, as you guys can see here, is wide open. And the reason why it was open is because if you take a look at the replay, the zones were dropping over the middle of the field a little bit deeper to defend this post route right here. And then also this guy sitting on the left side of the field was looking at my running back. So that opened up a very, 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 nice area of the field over the short middle to hit this slant route. Now, if he was not open, we would either hit the post or the running back. So that was cover 2. Maybe let's go ahead and take a look at this against cover 2 to where they actually guard the slant. So let's say that they're using the middle of the field, right? And they sit down on our slant route. Then you just throw the post right behind it. I know we dropped the ball there, but that's a very, very easy read that we can reliably hit every single time. If we do see, this is getting the same setup, if we do see that they're sitting down with their user on the slant. Super easy read over the middle of the field. So we have the flats, and then we have a high-low read over the middle. We also have the running back, and this running back, if you guys are familiar with the play mesh post from Gun Bunch, one of the hardest routes in the game to stop, and it's essentially the same thing here. When they're playing zone coverage, this running back route out of the backfield is pretty much unstoppable. It even can beat man coverage, especially if you have the backfield running back abilities like the backfield mismatch. this route is so hard to stop because, as you guys can see here, it kind of just gets in the soft spots between all the zones, so it almost makes you user it. And even, like, I just do a normal bullet pass right now. I just let it to the inside of the field. But let's say that they had tighter coverage here. You could just throw a low ball against tight coverage and possession catch it, and it's pretty much going to be a catch every single time. Now, that was against a zone blitz. If we just go to basic cover 3, you're going to see that, you know, even if they're not blitzing you and they're just playing standard zone, it's still going to get open. So if you guys can see here, I just throw it right in that soft spot. And like I said, you can low ball it or possession catch it against tighter coverage like we did there. Now, that's not to say that that's your only read against cover 3. I mean, because maybe they go user that. And that's fine. That's why we have all these other reads. So if we do see them go run out to the running back, that's when we just throw either the post or the slant. Or, like I said, if they do have their zone drops on, which, I mean, a lot of people will play with zone drops on, and maybe they don't guard the flat, remember, you have an out route and a tight end flat. So you want to read both of those routes because they're both going to be super, super easy. Now, this play is really, really effective against man coverage too, because, like I said, pretty much, first of all, out routes by a good receiver beat man coverage this year. Flats to tight ends sometimes even beat man coverage, and, you know, slants and posts are definitely good man beaters too. So, like, you know, you would think you can't throw a flat to a tight end, but even with my little slow-ass tight end right there, I got an easy 4 or 5 yards. And, you know, obviously that's not a huge play, but again, do the math. You can't just keep giving up 4 or 5 yard quick passes to the flat every play because that'll be a first down. You know what I mean? Obviously, slants are going to beat man coverage. That's one of the best routes to beat man coverage every year, as is posts. The only really route that's not going to be too much of a factor, unless you have the backfield mismatch, is the running back route out of the backfield. Now, like I said, that route can still be man, but it's not as effective as it is against zone. But as you guys can see, the post and the slant and the flats are still really good against man. I mean, I know I dropped the ball there. So this post is also a very good play, or I should say a very good route to use against man coverage, because as soon as it separates, you just want to throw a bullet pass, and it should get separation to the inside, and you can just get a dive catch animation. Pretty much every time, if you have a reliable receiver there, he should hold on to the ball. Again, dive catch animations this year are very hard to defend, so they're very effective for the offense because the defense doesn't really animate on them, as you guys can see here. There's 2 defenders kind of in the area, but when you get this dive catch animation, the defenders don't really do anything. So that's why it's really hard to stop that consistently in man coverage. Another coverage out there is match. You know, match doesn't do too good of a job against this play either. You don't really want to run. I mean, matches definitely can be effective this year. I mean, I love match personally, but I feel like it's harder to run against this formation than some others because there are some ways you can exploit it with bombs in general. But the other thing about matches is, like you guys can see there, you can exploit the flats. Like, I have pretty much both flats. I had the tight end and the receiver pretty much immediately open. So let me do that again. See how you can just throw that right away? And that's an every time thing. Now, another thing about matches, guys, you can just throw to the running back pretty much every time too. That's another reason why I'm not a huge fan of match against this, because you can just lowball it and they don't react. That's pretty much an every time thing as well. You know, the flats are there also. The flats, like I said, the flats aren't always the biggest gain. You know, slow, and that's just kind of the speed of your tight end. If we're playing MUT and we got 90 speed tight ends, obviously we're going to get more yards. This formation can bomb match too, so that also makes it difficult. The only thing I would say in regards to like some of these low balls you see me doing, especially to the running back, is watch out for acrobats on defense. When they have acrobats in the area, you know, once in a blue moon, the defense can get glitchy dive pick animations, but even then, acrobats sometimes, even when they get good animations, they sometimes drop the pick or just don't even get the pick. So, you know, it is something to be aware of, but acrobats aren't like, you know, 100% foolproof or anything. So, hope you guys enjoyed the tip. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.